Hello, dear students of class 7. Today we are going to study the part 4 of our chapter Spreadsheet and Introduction. Okay, students, in this part 4, we will again quickly revise about this topic performing calculations, which we have already studied, but we'll do a quick revision of this topic. After that, we'll study about working with worksheet and how to save our workbook. Okay, and we will finish off this chapter today. So let's begin with it. Now students, you remember this table, right? So let's start with performing calculations. Okay, so what Excel has a very powerful feature, okay, for performing calculations on the data that we have typed in our Excel sheet, okay, or worksheet. Okay, so we, as you know, we type the data inside the cells of the worksheet. Okay, so I have already typed this data last time. We had done the calculations. I'm deleting this calculations again. Okay, now today we are again going to perform this. Okay, so we can perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and of the numbers, okay, either by using the formulas or by using the functions. Okay, so we can use two things in Microsoft Excel: formulas and functions. Okay, either you can type of entire formula or you can use a predefined formula which are called as functions to do calculations. Okay, the result of the calculation is displayed in the cell where the formula is entered. So where is the result displayed? It will be displayed in that particular cell where the formula is entered. So if I want a total of all these values, okay, in this cell H3, so I will enter my formula over here in this cell. Okay, and as soon as I enter my formula, the result will be displayed in this cell only. Where will the formula be displayed? It will be displayed in the formula bar. But when will the formula be displayed in this bar? When we will select this cell. Right now we have not entered any formula. Okay, but we will again quickly revise how to do that. Okay, so formulas are the user defined instructions to perform calculations. Okay, so we are the user of the computer. Okay, and we are going to define a formula to do the calculations on our data. Okay, so what are formulas? Formulas are the user defined instructions to perform calculations. So if I want to perform calculation or addition of all these cells, so okay, so I have to type a formula over here in this cell. If I want the total over here, I will write my formula in this cell and so on. Okay, so we are the users of the computer and we are going to define the formula. Okay, whereas functions are the predefined or inbuilt formulas. That means functions are the formulas which are already defined by the people who have built or developed or created Microsoft Excel. Okay, now so functions are the predefined or inbuilt formulas that come with Excel. Okay, now see, let us see the difference between formula and functions with the help of an example. So to calculate the total expense in H3, that is this cell is H3. Let me quickly show you. This is the H3 cell. Okay, total expense of e-tables. If you want to calculate in this cell H3, what you got to do? You have to do is that type this formula equal to B3 plus C3 plus D3 plus E3 plus F3 plus G3 and press the enter key. The sum of all the values in the cells, okay, B3 to G3 will be calculated and displayed in H3. So what if I want the total over here? I need to insert the formula. Which formula? This formula. Equal to, a formula always begins with an equal to symbol. Okay, so equal to, then first B3, this cell, okay, plus this cell plus this cell plus this cell plus this cell plus this cell. Okay, so all the cells from this B3 to G3, and then I will hit the enter button. See, as soon as I hit the enter button, the total is displayed in the H3. Okay, so this is how we use the formula. Now again, let's quickly do one more example of formula. Okay, suppose I want the total of these cells, okay, from this B4 to this G4, okay, and I want the total in this cell. Okay, so what I am going to do, again I will type what, the first formula always begins with the equal to symbol, so I'll type the equal to symbol, then I will type what, this is B4, so this is B4, okay, plus this is C4 plus this one is D4 plus this is E4, then this one is F4, oh sorry, I didn't put that, plus F4 plus G4. So now see, all the cells have been selected from this B4 to G4, and now I am going to press enter key. Now notice that over this is a formula. Okay, so the calculation, the total of all these cells is shown over here. Okay, so this is how we use the formula. Now students, what they are saying is that we can either use uppercase or lowercase letters while entering the cell address in the formula. Okay, so while entering the cell address, this B4 is a cell address, this C4 is a cell address, D4 is a cell address. So even if I type small b instead of capital B, it will not matter. Okay, it's okay. Okay, if in place of capital C I type small c, it's okay. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, capital or small will not matter. Okay, unless the cell address is correct. Okay, now moving on, Excel also provides a quicker and easier way of performing calculations. Okay, that is your functions. Now I'll tell you how to use functions. Okay, so click on the auto sum button. Okay, this auto sum button present on the present either on the formulas tab or the home tab. Okay, then what will happen, Excel will suggest a range. Range means a group of cells, okay, which form a shape of a rectangle. Okay, range means group of cells, okay, group of continuous cells. Okay, now Excel suggests a range which we can either accept or select a different range. Okay, now to use the auto sum feature, move the cell pointer to the H4 cell. Suppose this was for H4, suppose let me do for H5. Okay, this one. Okay, I'll do the use the function in this cell. Okay, so what we have to do is that we have to click on the cell where we want the total. Then we have two options. Okay, either we can go to the formulas tab or we can go to the home tab. I'll show you both the options. First I'll show you in the home tab. So this is my home tab and this one is my formulas tab. So first go to home tab, and then in the home tab come to this editing group over here. Now in the editing group over here, you can see this auto sum over here. Okay, just click on this drop down and click on this sum. Sum means addition. Okay, so click on this. Now see, Excel is suggesting me a range. Suggesting me a range means what? It is already selecting H3 to H4. That means these two cells, group of these two cells. This is a range. But we don't want total of these two cells. We want the total of from here to here. So what we have to define our own. See, it's written over here, na? See, which we can either accept or select a different range. So we have to select a different range. What is that range for us? Our range is from this, okay, over here, which is B5 to G5. Okay, so we'll select our range B5. This is B5. Then we have to enter this colon. Okay, colon. Okay, and then we have to select G5. So see, my range has been selected. See, B5 colon G5. Okay, this is how we write the range. Okay, and then press enter and see the total is shown over here. Okay, so this was from home tab. Let me tell you about the formulas tab also. So just suppose now for this H6 I will use the formulas tab and sum function. Okay, so I'll come to this H6. Okay, and then I'll go to this formulas tab. Now students, in this formulas tab, you can see in this function library there are many functions over here, but we want this sum function or auto sum function. Just click on this button and go to this sum function. Okay, now see, the Excel is suggesting me a range of B6 to G6, which is the correct range. Okay, so I won't do any changes over here because this is the range of which I want the total from B6 to G6. It's good, I don't have to make any changes in this, but suppose if it would have shown me some other range, then I would have made the changes accordingly. So I'll just hit enter. Okay, so this is how you use the functions. Okay, so press the enter key and the sum will be displayed. Now there is a note given over here. Excel also provides special built-in mathematical functions such as sum. We have already talked about sum. Sum means carrying out the total of all the cells in the range. Okay, then there is average, count, and there are many other functions. If you look over here, see, there are many functions: average, count, max, min, and there are more functions over here in the insert function dialog box. So there are many functions, not just your sum function. Okay, now instead of typing such a long formula, this is a formula, yes, the sum function can be used to calculate the total expenses. So we have already seen how to calculate the total using the sum function. Okay, similarly, if you want to calculate the average, I hope you have studied average in mathematics. Okay, but right now we don't have to talk about this average function. The only thing I'll tell you is that average function will calculate the average of the given numbers. Okay, so I'll just show you quickly. Suppose I have two numbers, 10 and 20. Okay, and I want average of these two numbers in this cell. Okay, this is my cell. Okay, J4. Okay, I want the average of these two cells. So what is the formula for average is that first we have to add these two numbers and then we need to divide it by 2. Okay, so instead of using the formula, we'll just use the average function. See, it has already selected the range equal to average J2 to J3, and so what is the average of these two numbers, 10 and 20? It is 15. So this is the average function. In the same manner, we have other functions also, but you will study these functions in the next class, in class 8. Okay, so don't worry about them. Okay, now if the same formula is needed in several cells of a worksheet, okay, it can be copied and pasted wherever required. So what does this means is that, see students, this cell, okay, when we carried out total of this cell, okay, we were adding from here to here. Then when we carried out total for this cell, we were carrying out total from here to here. Yes, and in the same manner for these cells also. Now if you want to carry out the total for this cell from here to here, see, the cell addresses are changed, but the formula is same, or the function that we are going to use is same, sum. So what we can do is we can just copy any of these formulas. Okay, so we can just go over here, okay, right click and then click on copy. Okay, and then go to this home, come over here and just click on paste. See, the correct formula has been copied out. Okay, even though we copied this formula, but over here the Excel automatically changed the cell addresses. Now this is called as relative referencing in Excel. Okay, that means it is changing the addresses according to the requirement by us. So this automatic feature is called as relative referencing. You will study relative referencing in detail in the next class. Okay, don't worry about it. So what you can do is you can just copy this. Okay, you can just copy this and come over here and paste it. Okay, see, the correct formula is getting copied. So you can do this also. So I've shown you 3 ways, okay, to calculate the total. Now now see, now we want the total of all these values, which is not as same as this value. Okay, so now we cannot use that copy function. Okay, now we need to calculate the total of all these cells. We can easily use the auto sum function. So just come to this cell, go to this auto sum, click on sum. It is selecting from H7 to H9, but we don't want from H7, we want from H3. Okay, so we'll, instead of H7, we'll write on H3. So we want the total of this range. See, this is a range group of continuous cell which is forming a rectangle. Okay, and then click OK. So we have calculated the total. So this is how we perform the calculations in Microsoft Excel. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay, now let's talk about our next topic. Okay, the next topic is working with worksheets. So you know that in Excel we have the sheet tab over here. Look over here, this is the bottom part. By default we get 3 sheets. Okay, by default we get how many sheets? 3 sheets. Okay, now but we can, you know, do lots of changes in these sheets. We can add new sheets. Okay, and we can rename these sheets. The default name is sheet 1, sheet 2 and sheet 3, but we can change the names of these sheet and we can do different things to this sheet. So this is what we are going to study in this topic, working with worksheet. So first topic is switching between worksheet. Switching between worksheet means what? Moving from one sheet to another. Okay, now when we add a number of worksheets, only a few worksheets can be seen on the screen. To switch between the worksheets, click on the arrow button on the worksheet tab. So what does this means is that right now there are 3 worksheets and we can see all these 3. Suppose I add a 4th worksheet, I click over here, I add another worksheet. So I keep on adding the worksheet. Okay, now you'll ask a doubt, sir, how many worksheets can you add? So you can add as many as worksheet you want. Okay, until your memory does not get full. Okay, so you can add as many as worksheet as much you require. Okay, so I'll keep on adding these worksheets now. Okay, so I've added many worksheets, as you can see. Okay, as you can see, now see, sheet 1 is not showing. Okay, so what I can do, see, there are some arrows over here. Can you see these arrows over here? So I can just click on these arrows to move from one worksheet to another. Okay, these arrows to move from one worksheet to other. Or better, I can do is that I am on sheet 1, I just come over here and click on sheet 2, and I am switching between my different worksheets. So these are the arrows that you can use to move from one worksheet to another. So this is my sheet 1, and then so on I can move. Okay, but if you want to open any sheet, I need to click on the sheet tab name. Okay, over here, so that worksheet will open. Okay, students, so this is how we switch between different worksheets. Okay, now moving on, the next topic is renaming a worksheet. Okay, the next topic is renaming a worksheet. Okay, so what does renaming a worksheet? Renaming a worksheet means giving a new name to your worksheet. So you know, by default the sheets are given name as sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4 and so on. But as I told you earlier, we can change the name of our sheets. Sorry. Now we can change the name of our worksheets. How? To rename a worksheet, double click on the sheet tab you want to rename. Okay, it will be highlighted. Now type a new name and press enter key. Okay, so what they are saying, suppose I want to rename this sheet 1. So I have to double click on this sheet name on the sheet tab. So I am double clicking. Now see, this has been highlighted. See, it's saying na that as soon as you double click the sheet tab you want to rename, it will be highlighted. So it has been highlighted. Now you can change its name. Okay, now type the new name and press the enter key. So what I'm going to do, suppose I want to name it weekly expenses. Okay, so I will give it a new name, weekly expenses, and I will click on the enter button. Now see, the name of this worksheet has been changed. Okay, from sheet 1 to weekly expenses. Okay, now one more method to change the name of your worksheet, or right click on the sheet tab which is to be renamed and click on the rename option. So suppose I'll show you next method on this sheet 2. So suppose I want to change the name of this sheet 2. Okay, so I will right click on this sheet 2 and then see there is a rename option over here. Can you see this rename option? Just click on this rename. Again this will be highlighted. Suppose I want to change the name to just class 7 or anything. I can give it any name XYZ. Okay, and just click on the enter and the sheet name will be changed. Okay students, so this is how we change the name of the worksheet. I've shown you 2 methods. Whichever you like, you can use it. Okay, now next is adding a worksheet. Okay, so let's study adding a worksheet. Okay, so you saw just now that I had added many worksheets, right? Just now I added many worksheets. Okay, so let me just delete all these worksheets first. Okay, so that I have a space to add new worksheets. Okay, just let me delete them and go. So I have deleted all the worksheets that I had added earlier. Okay, and now I want to add a new worksheet. How to do that? See, adding a new worksheet. To add a new worksheet, select the sheet before which you want to place the new worksheet. So if I want to add a worksheet between this, after this sheet 3, okay, after the sheet 3 there should be one more sheet. So what I need to do, I need to select that worksheet. Okay, I need to select that worksheet before which you want to place the new worksheet. So if I want my worksheet before this sheet, okay, after this sheet 3, so I have to select this sheet 3. Okay, and then what I have to do, then right click on the sheet tab and select the insert option. The insert dialog box appears with the worksheet option selected. Click on OK and you will notice a new worksheet gets inserted before the selected worksheet. So I have selected, I'll right click. This is the insert option, first option. I'll click on this. See, the insert dialog box has come over here and this worksheet has been already selected. I just need to select this worksheet and click on OK. Okay, so see, a worksheet has been inserted over here. Now you will ask me, sir, why it has been named as sheet 15? Because we had already inserted till sheet 14. Okay, that's why. Okay, now if you want to rename it as sheet 4, you can rename it, no problem. Okay, let me show you once again on a different Excel sheet. Yeah, so I have this new workbook. Okay, now there are 3 sheets. Okay, if I want a sheet before this sheet 2, between this sheet 2 and sheet 3, so I'll come to this sheet 3, right click and then click on this insert, and then the worksheet will be selected and I'll click OK. So see, there is a sheet 4 between sheet 2 and sheet 3. Okay, if I want to move the sheet 3 this side on the left hand side, I just need to select the sheet 3 and drag it. Okay, now see, sheet 3 has come over here and sheet 4 has come over here. Now there is one more way, a more easier way to insert worksheets. Okay, this is the more easier way. Okay, or just click on the insert sheet button. See this button, present on the right side of the last sheet tab. So this is the last sheet. Okay, right now this is the last sheet because right now we have 4 sheets, and this button is the insert worksheet button. So if you click on this button, see the worksheet has been added to the right side. Okay, so just keep on clicking on this and your worksheets are going to be added. Okay, now if you see over here, when I come over here, just a second. Okay, if you see, if I come to this button and hover over here, that means just keep my mouse, I don't click anywhere, there's a shortcut shift plus F11. So this shortcut shift plus F11 is a shortcut to insert the worksheet. Let me show you, okay, with the help of a keyboard. So I have pressed the shift button and okay, no function keys. Okay, now it's there. So I need to come over here, I need to press shift, and this is the F11 key. Okay, so as soon as I pressed it, see, a sheet has been inserted. So this is a shortcut to insert a new worksheet. Okay, so if you want, you can use this shortcut. If the most easy one is click on this button, insert worksheet, and get your worksheet inserted. Okay, so there are 3 methods. Whichever method you like, you can use it. Okay, if you want to change the positions of the sheet, just drag your sheets to the required. Just select the sheet. Suppose you want sheet 2 at last. Okay, after sheet 10, just select your sheet 2 and drag your sheet and keep it over here. Sorry. Okay, and see, your sheet 2 is after sheet 10. So you can change the position of your sheet also, which is the next topic, which is called as moving a worksheet. Removing a worksheet. Okay, so this is how we move the worksheet. Now next topic is removing a worksheet. So how do you remove worksheet? Very easy. Okay, place the mouse pointer on the sheet tab, okay, that you want to delete, and right click on it, select the delete option from the display menu. Okay, and the sheet will be deleted. So suppose I want to delete this sheet 10. Okay, so I will come to this sheet 10, right click and see the delete option, click on this, and the sheet has been deleted. Okay, if you want to delete, right click, go to delete, and the sheet will be deleted. It's very easy process. Okay, this is how we delete the worksheets. Okay, or remove the worksheets. Okay, then there's one more method. Select the delete options in the cells group on the home tab, and further select the delete sheet option from the sub menu list. So go to the select the sheet. Suppose I want to delete this sheet 3. Go to this which cells group. Okay, and see, there's a delete button over here. Click on this drop down. See, last option is delete sheet. Click on this and the sheet will be deleted. So this is the second method to remove a worksheet. Okay, so we are done with this. Okay, the next topic, let me close this. The next topic is saving a workbook. Before starting this topic, in Excel 2007, you can carry out all the above mentioned activities in the same way. So some of you keep on, telling me, sir, I have Microsoft Excel 2007 or Microsoft Office 2007. So you can do all these activities in Microsoft Excel 2000 also if you don't have 2010. Okay, you can do all these activities in Microsoft Office 2013, 2016, 2019. Okay, all the versions you can carry out these activities. Okay, the now next topic is saving a workbook. So suppose I have a workbook. Okay, suppose I have a Excel workbook. Okay, so I'll open an Excel workbook. Okay, and I have typed some data in that. Okay, now I have typed my data, okay, in this cell, and now I want to save this Excel workbook. This workbook contains 3 sheets. Okay, if I want more, I can add more worksheets. Okay, now how to do that? Click on the file tab and then select the save option. Okay, so I need to go to this file tab. If I want to save, then click on this save option, and you can see that the save as dialog box has appeared. Okay, now what we need to do, select the drive and the folder where you want to save the workbook. So you need to select where you want to save your folder. So how can you do that? You can do it from here. Okay, you can go to this, or you can do it from here. Go to this computer, just come to this left hand side. Okay, and use this scroll bar and go to computer. Suppose you want to save it in your D drive. Okay, so just I have selected my drive and my folder, and then I'll come to this file name box. Okay, so see, type the file name in the file name text box. So this is my file name text box where I'm going to type my name. Okay, and then click on the save button. The file will be saved. Okay, so let me do that. So this is the file name box. Suppose I want to save this by class 7 demo. Okay, the name of my file is class 7 demo, and save as type should be Excel workbook, and then click on save button, and my file will be saved in that particular folder. To check, I just need to go to that folder and see, this is my class 7 demo file. Okay, so this is how you save a Excel workbook. Okay, now there are few tips given over here. See, you can also save your file by using the F12 key or Ctrl plus S key combination. So there are two shortcut keys. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so this is my suppose new Excel file, and suppose again I am writing something. This time I am writing MS Excel for. Okay, so I have typed something, my data is typed inside this. Okay, now I can use the F12 key. So see, this is my F12 key. If I press on the F12 key, the file has been saved by the name book 1 in my documents. Okay, okay, and there is one more shortcut option of Ctrl plus S. Okay, so if I click on this Ctrl plus S, the save as dialog box has arrived. Okay, and see, it is showing my documents. If you want to change the folder, come on, you can come over here. Okay, and then again you select the desired folder where you want to see save. This time I am going to do it in C drive, and then give a name over here. Suppose I have given class 7. Okay, and then I save as type will be Excel workbook only, and then click on the save option. Okay, now because I don't have permission. Okay, so they are telling me to save in my documents. C drive is the drive where all the system files are there. That's why I should not save over there. So basically you just need to change the folder. So I am coming in D1. Okay, D drive, and I am creating a folder, new folder, suppose sample folder. Okay, sample folder, and now I have selected in D drive a sample folder. Now I will click on save, and the file will be saved in my D drive in the sample folder. So let's see whether it's saved. Yes, the file is saved. Okay, so this is how we save the file. Okay, now there is one more option to save the Microsoft Excel file. Okay, using this quick access toolbar, this button on the quick access, this is your quick access toolbar from here to here. So if you click on this save, this is also a save button. If you click on this, again the save as dialog box will appear. So these are different ways in which you can save your Microsoft Excel file. Whichever you like, whichever suits you, you use that one. With this, we come to the end of this chapter. This chapter is over. Okay, I hope you will practice this, okay, on your own, and thank you for listening. As usual, take care of yourself, be well, and God bless you. Thank you.